Motion by Tina. Second by Larry. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at the school district, we like to share good things before our meeting starts. Do we have anything that to share today? Nothing?
It's almost summer break.
I think we're getting close to the end. Go ahead, Mr. Webster.
Well, there's always great things. We're just about wrapping up state testing. We've got a couple just kids that were absent and stuff like that we're finishing up on, but I think we had a really successful testing season, so excited about that.
Anyone else? Yes.
We have a bunch of retirees that are going to retire.
We
Somebody was going to say I thought it was her.
We thought about skipping the recognition, but I think you guys are leaving either way. No, it's awesome, and appreciate you all coming tonight and enjoyed the meal that was prepared. Moving on, statements from patrons. Do we have any statements? No statements from patrons. We will move into recognitions. Mr. Webster, take it over.
So the first thing that we have to kind of discuss tonight, and we've got some special guests here that are actually going to present something to our elementary school librarians, but obviously this year we were an exemplary library, and as you can see on there, I believe we are the only elementary school, so that is a pretty amazing accomplishment. So go right ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name is Lisa Scroggs. I'm the Director of English Language Arts at the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. I've been touring the state for the past few weeks, celebrating in these awards with all the school libraries, and it's great to be back in this part of the state. I'm actually from this area. I was a Bell Tiger. And I remember coming down here for basketball, and I know you all beat us all the time, but it's okay. I've gotten over it. So anyway, Hope Hunter, if you'd join me up here, please. Just a little bit about this award. It is through application, and it is rigorous. There are 21 indicators. We bring together a team of school librarians from around the state to evaluate the applications. 60 schools requested applications this year. Only 21 schools completed the application, and of those 21, only 8 received the recognition. They had to score 90% without receiving a 0 on any of the indicators, so it is difficult. It's tough. So, congratulations are in order for Hope Hunter and Lucy Wortham James Elementary School. As you said, it's the only elementary school among the group. If you look to all of the others are from much larger school districts, Springfield, Jefferson City, and then also from the St. Louis and Kansas City metro areas. So being from this area, I'm very proud of St. James for having this. So this is just a tremendous honor to be able to award this to Hope. I bring with me some gifts. These are resolutions in recognition from the Missouri State Board of Education, the Missouri House of Representatives, and the Missouri Senate. Congratulations, Hope. Thank you.
If you guys just kind of move towards that over there, then we can get. Okay. Thank you, Lisa, and congratulations again to you guys. So moving on, next we have recognition for our retirees. I'd just kind of like to go in order here that I have them on the list. And then if you guys would like to go up and say any words, feel free to do so. If you don't want to, feel free not to. It's completely up to you. First, we have Diana Furing. Miss Diana. She has served us here for 9 years, and I know me personally, I'm going to miss when she brings me in snacks. So, Diana, I would like to thank you so much. We've got a little gift for you, and then if you have anything you want to say, feel free to do so while I find yours. Yeah. Newspaper does want a picture, so don't run off yet. I know you're quitting me and leaving me, everybody, but give me at least 10 more minutes. So next we have, serving us for 12 years, Miss Brenda Cochran. And Brenda, I'm going to miss your extra help as well, so thank you. I just started saying I'm still going to see her plenty at the golf course. So. Next, serving the district for 22 years, which is pretty impressive, we have Miss, I read the wrong line. Sorry, you're both 22. You're both 22s. I was staring at you, and I'm like, wait a minute. So, I had no idea you were retiring, Marcia. So anybody that knows Marcia very well does know that her felonies come through next year, and she can't work here anymore. So, no, Marcia, we're gonna miss you. Thank you very much, Marcia. So our other 22er, Miss Dixon, we definitely appreciate everything you've done for us. I have not had the opportunity to get to know you very well, but I've never heard a negative word about you, and I know it, right? And yeah, you can give me some dirt, and I sincerely thank you for everything you've done for the district. So thank you. Next, I know there's a smiley face that I can't walk past without getting their opinion shared with me, whether it be good or bad. But at the same time, I know the kiddos are definitely going to miss you, and I know the staff is as well. So we have Miss Mary Gann, which has served here for 18 years.
So where do I begin? No, I'm just teasing.
Hey, everybody, an open mic? I can't believe you're the only one that went there. I mean, so.
Lori expected me to do that.
Next, with 20 years of service to the school district, Miss Sherry Wyckoff. Even though he tried to leave us early tonight, he had dinner and he said, I'm out of here. No, so cool story. When I was starting education in college, they randomly placed me in a district and they randomly placed me with a teacher. And it was actually Mike Menendez's classroom. So Mike since day one, I thought you were a rock star, and watching you in the classroom, I thought, was awesome, and I aspired to be a history teacher like you when I did get out. So congratulations on 14 years of service.
So two guys walk into a bar. The third guy ducked. Sorry. I just want to say thank you very much for 14 awesome years. I did spend 13 years before as a Bell Tiger, teaching in Bell. This community's been just really great, very supportive. I've had great people to work for, every administrator, and I'm not sucking up or anything like that, but I know, but I've enjoyed all my principals. I've had great students. I'm having a great year. I'm really glad I can go out on a high note. I'm really gonna miss the kids. I don't know, they don't like to be called kids, but they'll always be kids. And my colleagues, people I've worked with, it's just been, I've just really enjoyed it. So I just want to thank everybody for I've had a good career. It's been fun. So thank you.
Next, and I don't see her here unless she snuck in on me, but I think she still deserves her moment after 16 years of service. One of the best in the game, Miss Nancy Davis. And last but not least, somebody that's put up with a lot of my shenanigans personally as a student back in the day, and from this perspective, I'm sure too. Yeah. So yeah. So a story I probably shouldn't tell, but we were talking about it during dinner earlier, and so one night I might or might not have just thrown some pumpkins in her yard because I thought it was funny. And she had no problem texting her boss the next morning telling him to get his rear end over to her house and pick those pumpkins up. So after 32 years, Miss Tina Keene, congratulations.
Years. 32 years. And I've loved every one of them. I mean, it's awesome. I still love it every single day. And most of you guys were kids, whenever I started. And I'm so proud of you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I mean, if you guys want to stay, you're welcome. But really, right now, you can kind of do whatever you want. So.
Yeah, if you could bring your awards, that would be awesome. All right, I tell you, could I have you two just move one spot over and we'll be center and we'll be awesome. Awesome, very good. We'll go on the count of three. And 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more here. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. You're fine. Thank you all. Congratulations. And you're all welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting.
I guess some more potatoes.
Thank you. I would, but my husband.
Thank you very much. I gotta slop the hogs, the bills. Yeah.
I feel like in typical Tim Wilson fashion, I should go on a 2-minute speech about it and stuff like that. No? It's on. All right, next we have a Spark Award presentation from Mrs. Lepper.
I do not see her.
So, okay,
Thank you, Karen.
absolutely. It's got to be straight though. Okay, so we occasionally do present a Spark Award to a community member that has done extra special things for us at school. And this year, the Spark Award is going, I have notes, that's what I'm looking for, to Rita Comstock. And I don't know how many of you know Miss Rita, but Rita is one of our substitute teachers, but she takes it to the next level. She's amazing at building relationships with all kids, and she has a following just like teachers do whenever she's at school. She's vested in our district, and she's vested in our students, and she's vested just in her presence of being at school, and she takes on the initiatives that the school's doing and really helps promote the things that we're doing. She's always positive. I've never heard her say a negative thing. I went around to teachers and said, hey, what can you tell me about Rita? And that was stated over and over and over again. And she's always willing to help, offering to help, coming to check to see if you need help. So I really wish Rita were here because she's an amazing lady. And if you don't know her, get to know her. She will enrich your life. So here's Rita's award.
Thank you, Karen. Next, we'll do spring band recognition. Caleb, the floor is yours.
I got the thingy on my phone here, so. This is not tall enough. Hold on.
Why are you so tall? There's no such thing as tall enough for you.
Yeah, I know. There we go.
Please don't forget to lower it when
Yeah.
you're
My name is Caleb Adams. I'm the head drum major and president of Tri-M within our Red Regiment band. And some of the recognitions that have happened within this year are the District Jazz Band. Acadia Grounds made second chair alto. Marissa Pratt made first chair tenor. Adam Drury made alternate for both tenor and bari sax. Quinn Schultz made alternate trumpet. Tyler Limback made second chair trombone. And Colton Schmidt was on the alternate drum set. One of the more recent events was the conference band, which was in February-ish, sometime around then. And Colton Schmidt was on the snare. Marissa Pratt was on the flute. Heather Austin made clarinet. Adam Drury on the flute. Anna Lynch on the clarinet. Hannah Ament on the clarinet. Heather Cahill on the clarinet. Cooper Armstrong on the bari sax. Myself on the tenor sax. Sky Adams, which is with us tonight, as well as Cooper. I forgot to, he's over there too. Sky made horn. Quinn Schultz made trumpet. Autumn Hovel made trumpet as well. Emily Williams, Hannah Hendry, were both on trumpet as well. Tyler Limback and Lucas Morehouse on trombone. Harrison James on tuba. Kieran Goodrich on percussion. Dylan Story, Barry first alternate. Brandon Siders on alto first alternate. The Junior High Honor Band, which I did not have the privilege of attending, is the middle school honor students. That includes John Nicholson on trumpet, Alexis Birdsong and Simon Terrasso on clarinet, Jack Lillis on trumpet, Catriona Murphy on flute, Owen Spurgeon on clarinet, Katie Carroll on alto sax, Kieran Goodrich on percussion, Hannah Hendry on trumpet, Dylan Story on baritone sax, Brandon Siders on alto sax, and Josh Carpenter on tenor saxophone. District Solo Contest, which took place in March, was individuals with their solo and their accompanist went to Union at ECC to perform in front of a judge and Caleb Adams received an exemplary rating on tenor saxophone, going to state. Tyler Limback received an exemplary rating on trombone, going to state. Harrison James received an exemplary rating on tuba, qualifying for state. Marissa Pratt got an outstanding rating on flute. Quinn Schultz got an outstanding rating on trumpet. Justin Christopher, who's back there, he got outstanding rating on baritone. And Cooper Armstrong got a satisfactory rating on alto sax. And then moving on to state, which occurred in April, Caleb Adams got a gold rating on tenor sax. Tyler Limback got a silver rating on trombone, and Harrison James got a silver rating on tuba. And the Marshfield Music Festival, the 7th grade concert band and 8th grade concert band traveled to Marshfield Junior High Music Festival in early March. The students behaved exceptionally well that day, and both groups received a 2 rating. The band program hosted an in-person Missouri Small Schools Festival this year in late April. We were able to welcome 10 area schools from Central and South Central Missouri in the auditorium that day, with some schools traveling over 2 hours to attend. The high school concert band received a 1 rating at the festival. The high school jazz band performed a tour of the Kansas City area, including a performance and recording session at the Summit Tech Academy and performance in St. Joseph. The band directors have also started a Tri-M chapter for the high school students. Tri-M is a musical honor society where students serve the school and community through music while maintaining good relationships with the directors, the administration, and a 3.0 GPA. The initial class of 27 music students were inducted this month. In addition to the above listed happenings, the band program hosted 8 concerts in the Performing Arts Center. That's all I got.
Pretty awesome stuff. Caleb, thank you. Appreciate that very much.
You guys are welcome to stay.
Hello, look at the time.
Next, we have one of the thousands of reasons that we live in a great community. Something that Phelps County Bank has done, to my understanding, for a pretty long time, is give back to the school, and this is one of the ways they do so with the school business partnership. What is done with the school business partnership is it is broken up proportionately per building. So you can see that up at the top. Dr. Harlan is actually kind of in charge of leading this committee. He's obviously at baccalaureate and scholarship night tonight, so he can't be with us, but I said I would kind of go over things. You can see here within the committee, they come up with ideas of what they want to spend the money on within their realm of what their allowance is, and you can see and scroll through here and see all the things that they have chosen to have that money go towards this school year. So just wanted to share that with the board.
Just to expand on this a little bit more, but this is meant specifically to go towards the schools and other programs outside of athletics. So that's what Dr. Harlan is tasked with is, hey, where can this money go to help kids that outside the athletics program? And I will tell you from the PCB side, it's pretty awesome to see where this money goes and what it's able to accomplish for these kiddos. Pretty awesome stuff. So appreciate Dr. Harlan's hard work on that.
And we all appreciate Phelps County Bank for everything they do for us.
Glad to do it. You want to go on?
All right, so moving on to new activity coaching stipend. One of the things Coach Shockley's been working hard on this year is this. So I'll kind of get out of the way and let him take it and run.
So I handed you guys, the one on top is the current stipend schedule. The one below is the proposal. So if at any time whenever I'm explaining this, if it's not making sense, you have questions, just raise your hand and we'll go through it. It should be pretty self-explanatory. So I've met with all the head coaches of the programs and they're on board with this. Everybody's in favor. You want me to go on the microphone? Yep. So I've met with all the head coaches and they're in favor with this as well. So if you notice, if you look at the proposal, the one below, it does not have the base salary numbers on it. Because if you look at the current one, that can somewhat be confusing because if the base increases, you would think that would increase the pay for the coach's stipend. Well, the base, if it increases, it's already froze. So it's locked at that price right now. So we don't really need to show that price for everybody. We know in general that's the price where it's locked at, and we don't have to show that because if the base raises, people are going to be confused of, hey, if the top left goes to 36.8, then my percentages should increase. That's not how the salary schedule operates at this time with the stipend schedule. So we're going to get rid of that, and then on category 1 through 8, what I'm recommending is you'll see at the bottom of the current stipend schedule, the coaches have an opportunity, the head coaches can work 158 hours for $10 an hour to make it right around $1,600. Assistant coaches for high school programs can work right around 60 hours to make an additional $600. What I would like to do and the head coaches would like to do, take that money, go ahead and apply it to their stipend, with the requirement being you have to complete the 20 contact hours that Misha gives us during the summer, and for head coaches to complete 21 out-of-season contact practices. So in general, if some people are watching, they're like, well, whether they have the option if they want to do it or not, it shouldn't matter. Well, it does matter because every program is not going to be equal during the summer. If one head coach says, hey, I want to enjoy the summer and not do any contact days, it's not fair to the students per se. Say boys soccer, we don't have boys soccer right now. We're just throwing that hypothetically out there. If they do 0 contact days in the summer, football does 20 contact days in the summer. How is that fair to our students in the district? Because one program is offering every chance to improve compared to the other program not offering that. So the requirement would be about the same hourly wise, because if you look at 20 contact days in the summer, if you look at an hour of preparation for practice, the coaches get there 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, that's an additional hour. 2-hour practice, that's 4 hours per contact day, 80 hours. Then you throw the additional 21 hours during the out-of-season practice, you're right around 101 hours anyway. That's probably the bare minimum time a coach would put into it anyway. So it's kind of getting rid of the extra stuff on the bottom of, hey, this is no longer going to be optional. The requirement for every high school program is going to be you complete 20 contact days in the summer, and then you complete 21 contact practice hours during the out-of-season practice. So as a district, we can say we're providing every opportunity of instruction for our students for improvement. And the direction that we want to take our programs is we want to do everything we can to try to improve the program. So you'll see it really only affects category 1 through 8. For middle school students, they do have an optional 20 contact days in the summer. At this time, we don't feel like that might not be the best practice because what we don't want to do is all of a sudden 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, we're requiring so much time out of them where they're not being kids. You know, whenever you get to high school, it's a little more competitive. We want them to have a little more discipline and focus in the areas. So the head coaches were in agreement of it, and I think it'll be great for the program. I would say probably 95% of our programs complete all the hours anyway. So it's an allotted stipend that we already have. I'd like to just put it in, say, hey, this is going to be mandatory for our high school programs. The other adjustment on it, you'll see in the current salary schedule, if you look at category 4, the head golf coach, that is now 2 because we have a head boys and a head girls golf coach. We wanted to adjust that over to category 2 because we felt like with the requirements that we're going to ask for a head golf coach, it's going to be the exact same requirements for a head baseball, head track, volleyball, softball, and soccer. Not so much category 1. The week difference with the Michigan calendar is a little bit different, but we feel like, hey, if you're the head coach of a program with similar numbers, we're asking you to complete everything that all these other head coaches are doing. We would like to adjust into that category 2. So that was the proposal I'm recommending. And does anybody have any questions over the salary schedule? Again, if you do have any questions, if you look at it tonight, call me, come in and see me. I'll be glad to talk with you about it. But I think that's something we can do as a district, at least in our mind in the activities department. Hey, we're doing everything we can possibly do to kids to help them improve and get better in activities.
So to kind of piggyback off what Coach Shockley said, this is a great way to get money in our coaches' hands without spending money. Financially to the district, the impact is only, with this proposal, is only about a $900 impact, and that's just from moving golf over to the Category 2, which is with the rest of the head coaches. So in cost for the district, the total impact of what he's proposing is only about a $900 increase than we already pay. So
It cleans a lot of the paperwork up from that hour.
Correct.
Summer stuff.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other questions for Coach Shockley? Thanks, Chad. Moving on to discussion topics, budget assumptions. Mr. Webster, the floor is yours again.
Good. All right. Budget season, fun season, right? So the document that Shannon has up there, that's the one we'll start with. With a 7.4% increase on insurance this year, that's $50.41 per employee. The total impact of the district is $159,000 and some change. You can see with movements on our salary schedule, what I'm going to propose to you guys. And later in the meeting, you're going to see that we have salary schedules on there. In the state of Missouri, we were required to approve them this month. The one that I'm asking you to require or to approve tonight is the one that we currently have in place. So it is not reflective of what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. The reason it is not in there, from my standpoint, we have it done. We know what it's going to cost us. We are still being advised to pump the brakes as long as we can on this. Because the governor has not officially signed it. There's no reason to believe that he would not sign the budgeted amounts because he was kind of the big proponent of doing it. But I think, as we all know, curveballs can get thrown right and left, so they're urging us to wait as long as possible to approve this. So tonight's will just be to meet the requirements that we have in front of us. But next month, when we also visit our budget and approve our budget for next year, you'll see the updated ones that I'm going to discuss tonight. Right now, the plan is, with legislation, it's to raise teacher minimum salary to $38,000. The way we can do that, we're a lot luckier than some other school districts in the area. We can just add $1,000, which is a steep amount to our base. That puts everything except for step one, year one teacher at $38,000. We can just give them a $1,200 increase this year, and that puts us in compliance with the legislation. With that being said, next year we can, when we move up whatever we move up, we can take that $200 off, so then the whole pay scale is equitable again. So that impact of giving every employee a $1,000 raise and $1,200 to a year one teacher would be $300,000 to the district. One of the things that we're being very aggressive with is trying to get our classified staff salaries raised as well. Obviously, the minimum wage is going up to $15 an hour. Right now, ours is only $11.60 is starting for them. So this year, we're going to try and, as we have 3 years to do this, we're going to try and be more aggressive on the front end while there is some extra federal dollars laying out there. So if things tighten up in the future, we don't have to give as much at that time. So my proposal to you guys next month will be a $1.50 increase to all classified staff. The financial impact of that will be $136,000. Without insulting your intelligence, you guys can kind of go through the different additions that the district are making this year. The bottom half of that document, you can see budgeted revenues. So one of the things we've been going through is finding out what our financial sides will look like next year. Right now, transportation is going to be funded at 75%, which is 100% of the maximum allowance they can give us. We are being conservative with that since it's only been funded at like 20% in the past. So I'm still nervous of the fact that even though they tell us we're going to get the 100%, we've only budgeted for 90% of it. So if we get the full 100%, great, it'll be a happy day in St. James. But I'm not optimistic that's going to happen, so we're just going to budget 90% of that. So there is potential for more money out there, but you can see what the impact of the district will be there. That alone will be about a $200,000 increase to the district. As we go through all the revenues and expenses, estimated total impact to the school district within salaries for next year is going to be about $8,500,000. With the money that we have coming in, that's going to put us at, let me find it on here, about $124,000 difference on the good side. And I feel confident with the budget that we'll propose to you guys next week in the fact we're able to get some money in our people's hands while still staying within our means at this time. So a couple other things I wanted to go over while we're on here. Trying to think outside of the box with our classified staff. We have struggled to get people to apply. We have struggled to retain people once we get good people. Insurance is a perk that schools used to offer that really did a good job at getting people to come to it. But we're not seeing that anymore because the reality of it is, good, bad, or indifferent, right now things are so expensive that insurance is a good perk, but people need money in their hands. So one of the things, can you bring the other one up first, Shannon, and then I'll show them that. No idea if it'll work, but one of the things that I would like to try and do in the world of education, we pay people for educating themselves and we pay people for their years of service. And then you turn around and you look at your classified staff and you don't pay them like that. And to me, if we want to talk about family and being one, why not put people more equitable? So one of the things that I'll propose to you guys for next year, if we have any classified staff member that decides, hey, I want to go back and get a college degree, or maybe somebody that's on the fence of applying and then they realize they do have a college degree so they could get paid more for that, we want to offer them a $2,000 increase in their salary. That would be a one-time increase, but it would stay with them for the length of the time that they work for the school district. That would actually go into their paycheck monthly as they're paid. The next step that I wanted to kind of do for them, and this kind of started as a fly on the wall day, I decided to call RTC and just say, hey, you know, we spend a ton of money hiring people to fix HVAC, hiring people to fix electric work, hiring people to do all these things. What would it cost if I just said, hey, I want to send my people to you and have them trained so they're certified to do these things themselves? After that conversation, I felt like I got a little bit taken advantage of because the guy said, I think you just found me a way to market stuff towards school districts. But I also left there thinking we could train our people to do this work themselves and save us tens of thousands of dollars throughout a school year for about a $750 to $1,000 training. Within that, you know, I started thinking long term, every couple years they've got to renew that to keep certified or to keep current. Why would we not just try and urge our people to go do that and reward them for doing that? So one of the things, after digging deep and calling my smarter half, we were able to find that there's actually a Missouri approved credentials list. That way we're not just drawing in the dirt and saying, your certificate's important enough, your certificate's not. But what I would propose and like to propose next month to go ahead and adopt is anybody that goes out and gets one of those certifications or credentials, we would give them a $1,000 pay increase. Now that will not be built into their salary because those can go out of date. And obviously if they go out of date, we don't want to keep paying somebody for having it and not being able to do that work for us. So that would be paid in a $1,000 chunk on their final paycheck of each year. So that's kind of a chance. Is it a lot? Could the argument be made that you want me to go get a college degree and you're only going to give me $2,000 a year? You know, that argument could be made, but at the same time, a teacher can look at me and say the step you're giving me. My hope here is, and we'll find out if it works, is hopefully we can get better applicants and we can get more applicants, I should say, not better, I apologize, but more applicants of people that want to come work with us. The other thing that I have there would be the document that goes along with that. So any classified member that would want an opportunity to get that, there's a process they have to go through of checks and balances. They have to come talk to myself or Dr. Williams and explain the program to us, explain how that does fit into their job. Obviously, for paraprofessional, HVAC training is probably not important to their job. So those are conversations they have with us. You'll see in here that it says there's a deadline in May, and that's the same deadline we make teachers turn in to us if they've been working on extra credit hours to move across. This first year, since it will be June if we approve this, we would work with people on that this first year to get their stuff into us, but then moving forward, obviously there would be a hard set deadline there. So mid-year you get your credentials. That's great, we appreciate it. This spring, go ahead and fill your form out. We'll make sure we start paying you for it next year, which is just the same way we do with certified staff. So are there any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
Anything else on that? If not, we'll move to consent agenda. Got a motion from Tina to accept the consent agenda. Second from Larry. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve the coach stipend as proposed.
Have a motion from Tina to accept the proposed coach stipend schedule as presented by Coach Shockley. Do I hear a second? Second from Larry. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Superintendent's report.
Just one last thing. I know I said it like 4 times, but I don't want any confusion later. That we approved the current pay scales this time, and I'll make sure I clarify that when I send it out to staff too, so they don't think, oh my God, you didn't even tell us we're not getting a raise. But just the fact I don't want to be the guy that jumps the gun there. I think it's important we wait. So, board report. St. James was named National Beta School of Distinction. We were recipient of this award. Guys, pretty amazing honor. One of 36 schools in the entire United States to receive this. So I thought that was definitely newsworthy stuff to mention at the beginning of the report here. Obviously, we've got some big stuff going on Friday, graduation. Graduation will be hosted at the football field at 7 o'clock. I do ask that if the board members are able to, that 5:45 you guys start congregating here. I'd like to take some pictures for our website and update some stuff, board pictures with you guys, as everybody will be dressed nice and fancy. And then at 6:15 we'll go ahead and head down to the field and prepare for graduation. In the case of inclement weather, we'll meet at the middle school library at 5:45 for pictures. Graduation will still start at 7 p.m. and there will be an announcement that is made Thursday evening on if we'll be hosted inside or outside. So the forecast has been all over the place, so I honestly don't know. Moving into the facilities report, if you guys remember back to the very beginning of the school year, there was a grant through FEMA. It was called UV Angel Lighting. What it did, it goes in your HVAC systems, and the lighting within the system is supposed to kill any germs that go through it. So the air that's being recirculated is clean air. So we thought it would be something beneficial. Even after COVID times, the flu's always existed, you know. There's been other stuff out there. We've had a lot of trouble getting this going off the ground. We have yet to be able to get anyone from FEMA to tell us that we're not required to remove the stuff when they deem that the high time of need is over. So that scares me a little. Obviously, the guy we've been working with keeps reassuring us, oh, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. But when you're talking, I think when they wrote the proposal for us, it was going to be about $1.5 million to install. I don't know what the uninstall price of $1.5 million is, but it just scares me that we could, you know, yes, the FEMA pays for the 1.5, but it scares me to death that we could install it and then in 6 months or a year or two, them come back and say, all right, it's over, you've got to remove it. So at this time, we've halted any further discussion there. The gentleman that's been working with us is assuring us that he can get it in writing from FEMA that that's not the case. But when we log on to the FEMA website, it says you have to do that. So not to tell you it's for sure a done deal that it's not going to happen, but at this time we've kind of paused progress on that. GRP project, high school roofing replacement. The roofing material will be delivered tomorrow, I believe is the 20th, or Friday. Friday's the 20th. Sorry, I'm a day ahead all week. And that's going to be placed on the end of the high school parking lot in the grass area where a lot of the Branco stuff was placed during our last construction project. Roofing demo will start Monday the 23rd. Timeline on that has been pretty vague to the fact, obviously, with a roof, you've got to have good weather. So that'll be something we're getting a head start on, and we hope to have finished by the end of June. High school cafeteria expansion, the wall demo will begin in early June. They said they wanted to give us, once we get kids out of the building the rest of May, to go ahead and clean those rooms up and clean spots out. And then they're going to go ahead and get started on that. New air units at the early childhood and new practice gym have gone down again. They're pushing a lot of humidity into the rooms. The other day I was just walking through the elementary school and I got caught by several early childhood teachers, and they said, "Hey, come to my room," and they were showing me some paintings that their kids had painted 2 days ago, and they were still wet because it was so humid in the rooms that they wouldn't dry. Obviously we've been in contact with Dake Wells, we've been in contact with Branco. IFC is the company that installed them. We had IFC finally made a statement in an email thread earlier this week that they said, since day one before we installed this, we told you they would not work in your buildings, and they're holding strong to the fact the units are correctly working. They're just not the correct units for the buildings. So Dake Wells has offered to help us with this by letting us buy brand new units, which would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or they have told us that we can, there's dehumidifier systems that can be placed on there. They've said that could be an option as well. And the last conversation I had with them, they were going to charge us another $2,500 just to do a test to see if either one of those things would work. Obviously, there's some concern there. I'm hoping that they decide to see things from a different light. From my standpoint, obviously, we will not accept that. So if it comes to it, we might have to take other action if they're not willing to work with us. So I just wanted to make the board aware of that. Technology. The search for a technology director is underway. We started the process a week or so ago. It's kind of got put on pause a little bit, to be honest, just for the fact that I haven't had time to breathe. So we wanted to go ahead and get the school year over a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and hit things in the technology department wise. Activities, you can see Coach Shockley added picture of 3 awesome gentlemen here, Wilson McDaniel, Harrison Jane Miller, and Hunter Redburn. They qualified for the state golf tournament. Chad, do you know how'd they end up doing?
They competed Monday, Tuesday. I was able to get up there yesterday. They all did great. They had great scores. I don't think we had any finish in the top 6, but they did a great job representing our school. Also, we have Caden Snyder. He'll be running Saturday at Hollister in track sectionals. And after he does a great job Saturday, he'll be moving on to state at Jeff City 2 Saturdays from now. So we still have a few athletes participating. And then once that's completed, the plan is once all the accolades come in, receive the all-state, all-conference, all-district, then we'll bring them in. Hopefully that'll be complete by June. We'll be able to recognize those students in the winter and spring sports.
Awesome. Moving into the financial report, you can see a couple things stay steady. Revenues are at a good time right now. We've received 108% of what we budgeted to receive this year. A lot of that's obviously due to different grants that have been made available this school year to school districts. You can see at this point last year we had spent 76.12% of our budget. We closed out the month at 78.78% of the budget. We still have $5.2 million in the school year to spend within summer school, and the most of that will go towards salaries in the closing month to close out the school year. So financially, we pulled it off, I think. Spite an emergency, we pulled it off this year, and I can say I survived my first year. So, Dr. Williams.
All right, so you can see that through the month of April, the attendance stayed pretty good. We were up in the 90s, 94% overall, which was pretty good. Going in and just kind of talking about some good things. Mr. Webster mentioned at the beginning of his conversation that they were getting ready to finish up MAP and EOC testing, and so I just wanted to commend Ms. Hartley. She really does a lot of work to get everything prepared. There's a lot of computer work on the backside of state assessments and a lot of prep, and she's kind of been running around everywhere over the last 2 or 3 weeks, getting everything for everybody that they might need. Additionally, I did want to mention also, just as you know, our technology director had left, and Brent Robb and Cameron Morales have really demonstrated a great teamwork, and they have kind of stepped up and really made sure that everything was working. Our first day of MAP testing, we had to postpone it because we had technology issues, and they were right here kind of helping brainstorm and help us get through that. So we appreciate them as well. Academically, all the teachers are working hard to finish the year strong, getting the state test assessment done, but also having some fun. We have started looking at our curriculum pieces to start our vertical meetings with ELA and with science. And we're hoping to really start next year aligning our curriculum, making sure that that is aligned pre-K-12. We did math this year, and we're going to try and run both next year for those 2 content areas. Summer school enrollment is open until May 20th, so we've been pushing hard to try and get kids to sign up and come in for summer school. Our enrollment numbers, this was from last week on Thursday, so I think they're a little higher now. Big thing that we're just kind of watching right now, last week was the last legislative week for the session, and there were several bills and House bills passed and Senate bills passed. Several of those have components that will impact the classroom, and so we're watching those to see what DESE comes out with their guidance for that. So as we get more information, we will share it. At the elementary school, you can see that testing is this is the season for testing, but it's also the season for some fun. And so we have kids who've been getting to go on different field trips, getting to have some of those experiential learning experiences, going to the Missouri Capitol, just doing some things that support their learning in the classroom. Mr. Webster already highlighted our beta students, and so they are looking forward to National Convention at the end of June. And then their graduation is tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning in the high school auditorium. The middle school is supposed to finish up, I think, MAP testing tomorrow. The other buildings are done. They have been working really hard to ensure that the new math program is being implemented correctly with the ALEX component as well. I popped by this afternoon, and several of the math teachers had stayed for the first initial meeting just to get a start with that product and making sure that they understood everything and how to implement it. So then you can kind of see that we also have, this has been a week of honors as well. So we have a lot of great things going on. Yesterday, the high school celebrated 170 students who had high achievement academically, and the middle school is going to have a honor society, thank you, honor society induction tomorrow night for 36 students. So it's great to see our kids working hard and being celebrated for everything that they're doing. At the high school, they have been very busy. It's been a busy week with seniors leaving, lots of activities, graduation coming up for that this week.
I did want to add something that I forgot to mention when I was in my report. Last Thursday, I believe it was, we were in an admin meeting, and after that, we were lucky enough we all got to Zoom in together to watch that we had been named a national CKH school at the middle school as well as at the elementary school. And the high school, I believe, was kind of within their matrix, just a couple points short of reaching that. So that's a pretty amazing accomplishment as well. Kind of closing out the report here with MSBA news. MSBA is kind of winding down the year as well. The big topic that they discussed on there is cybersecurity in schools. The big concern there is when you look at corporations or companies, they have more resources to be able to spend on cybersecurity. I guess the people that are attacking companies and stuff have kind of found that schools are an easy target because they don't have the resources to lock things down like some of those companies might. So they've just wavered at the fact that schools are kind of a hot topic that have been getting attacked lately because they are easier targets. So yippee, I guess. And that's all I got.
Make a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second. Larry.
I have a motion and a second. Motion by Tina, second by Justin Seibert to go to closed session. All those in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries.